Yesterday I did the Forex weekly forecast, the weekly Forex technical analysis, and now it is time. It's Sunday, so the week is starting tomorrow. The trading week is starting tomorrow, so it's time to do some analysis on crude oil, I think Brent oil and natural gas as well. So let's get into the energies, the energy commodities here. Okay, well, I pointed this out in the last video I did, which was I think a week ago. Something, yeah, I think it was a week ago. We did get those beautiful pullbacks. This sometimes, you know, we have a trend line on like this, and pullbacks come down like this, don't break support and really shoot back up. Those are kind of gifts, you know. It's not really something you can forecast, but of course, yes, we had it on our charts that this was the previous support, and yes, the trend line was in place, and overall we had this this drop. So I got in, and I am already out. I took my profits by the break at the last highs. So yeah, waiting for another pullback to get in again. There's some more potential, so I was a bit cautious on taking my profits earlier. Overall, this is a high followed by a low, higher high, higher low, some consolidation, but eventually a higher high. Then we had a huge pullback, which almost covered the whole area back into breaking almost support, but didn't happen. So the structure is still in place, and we are one more time making a once again, I have to say once again, not one more time, we don't know that yet, but once again making a high. So yeah, well, that being said, we are overall bullish, of course, on gold at the moment. This is the daily chart, so quite obvious that this is a bullish move. Let's go to the weekly for a minute here to get the overall view on where we are at. Overall gold, sorry, gold. I did gold on Friday, gold, copper, platinum, palladium, and silver. So if you want to check those commodities out, I did a video on it on Friday. But this is all about the commodities, the energy commodities, of course. So sorry for the misinterpretation. Yeah, we are stuck in a certain range here. This is some kind of support area that turned into a resistance area. This pin bar came through. Price fell back, then we had this move, was news driven. Of course, you know that by now if you watch my weekly videos on this. A news driven move that got into this area again and got rejected pretty aggressively. And now we are in this consolidation phase, so we are not really in heavy trending phases in oil, but that's not a problem. This is still a market with a direction, and the direction in this case is of course up. So at the current price level, I would not consider jumping into this trade. And at the to point it out, yeah, at the current level I wouldn't jump in because we had quite a move already. So let's wait for a pullback before we get in. And if I would consider trading this, I would maybe look for signals of this thing. Oh, wait a minute, 5 seconds is a bit too much. 5 minutes. Yeah, it's just consolidation. There's nothing really telling us that this move is coming to an end already. We really need a different structure to tell us that this is turning bearish. So it's not bearish for now as well. So to me, there's nothing to trade at the moment. So wait for pullback, and overall bullish. Or if you're still into this move, of course, I would personally have the confidence to stay in for a little while, and let's see what levels we can reach further to the upside. So that's it for WTI crude oil. Let's go to the Brent oil, which is often quite the same. Matter of fact, this was I'm gonna remove that for now. I explained it in the previous video. There were a couple of scenarios when we were into this range. If we would broke below this major support area, of course we would continue to move lower. That never happened, so this we can get that off to make sure we don't get confused on what we see on the charts and in this video. Yes, we had a pullback and a push through, a pullback again, so this scenario played out for a second time and a third time. And actually Brent is moving a little bit more in a upward going channel, a little bit more clean. This chart is a little bit more clean than the chart we saw previously on WTI. Brent oil is yeah, it's clean, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. We have this news-driven spike here, got rejected aggressively. We have this major resistance zone. We coming off of this support area over here, and overall we are in the middle of this whole zone where price is moving in. But no signs of consolidation just yet. We are in an upward moving channel, so my bias for next week is going to be the same as crude. Brent oil to me is bullish, and the same thing goes for this one. I would not consider going into this at the moment because we are at the top of this this channel. So first correction is the first thing I'm expecting. So when we zoom in, we do not get any signal yet of a reversal, so it's way too early. Maybe if you put a trend line in here and you identify support, right now this is support, but maybe we get another support, this resistance will turn support maybe. So maybe over here we get some level where if it breaks we get some more information on taking a short trade for now. But you know, I don't personally prefer to trade against the trend, so I would prefer to wait it out and really, you know, maybe with some consolidation we finally touch this trend line, or with some, you know, a pullback like this we touch the trend line, something like that. But overall also bullish within the channel, bullish. Personally, I wait for a pullback to get in with the trend, and that is bullish, so up. And if you are ready to take on a little bit more risk, zoom into the lower time frame, and maybe you can find an entry that is yeah, that's suitable for your trading strategy, and you can ride a little bit from the 66 levels back into the, well, 64 levels would be a interesting and safe ride. Then we go to natural gas. Yeah, we had some interesting moves here. This one I pointed it out. I remember I missed it by myself. I wasn't able to take the trade once it broke out, and we never came back for a retest. So it was just up and up to the moon, and that was it. Yeah, so this was a trade that was a good one. This looks kind of huge, and I'll show you why it looks like that, because I wanted to point out that if we broke out of this this area here, this is of course a range in between the 2.7 and the lower side is the 2.2 area, 2.1 maybe. So if it would have broken out, which kind of happened here, and it followed through, then we had you know, the level was clear to be taking this ride all the way. Well, that never happened, so let's take this off for now. Again, not to get confused. Zoom into the daily. We had a, yeah, well, this trend line got violated a little bit, but right away we pulled back up, and now we are back at this level again. So let's see if this trend level will hold. In the meantime, maybe there is an opportunity to be trading this thing to the upside. You know, I don't know. Personally, when I look at the way natural gas behaves, I think this has the potential to move even lower back into these the support area. That's the way I prefer to trade it. This is too much room, so I'll get burned, I think, if I start looking for an entry here. And from this is the daily chart, we have a move, a pullback, another move. This is another pullback, so there is room for some more action to the downside. So let's see how that trend line will behave from there on out. Yes, and actually, if I look at this from the hourly time frame, I would say this move over here got corrected to down here. Then we had some consolidation, so this is actually nothing. But then we have another push, which actually breaks this level over here. But on a bigger time frame, of course, we are struggling with this trend line. So it's kind of hard area to be trading. So let's. I personally would prefer to trade Brent oil when I had to choose between these three. I really need some more information on natural gas to be taking on a trade that I like, and I would consider looking for an entry when we make another push to the downside, and then we need some kind of pattern first to tell us that we can identify a reversal, and that is not yet the case. So my My trade that I like: Brent, wait for a pullback. WTI, again, wait for a pullback. It's kind of the same, you know. Let me just put it on here for you know, so you understand what we're looking at. It's also some kind of a channel trade, but you know, you get my point. If you have some risk appetite, take it to the short side for the correction. If you do not, and you want to trade with the trend, and if that is one of your golden rules in your trading strategy, just keep it like this. And yeah, well, that's it for now.